Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. We are of course continuing in with our Halloween season, and this mold made my heart sing. This is a Stamperia Maxi mold. Just look at it. The details, the intricacy, all of that it's just stunning and right up my street. There are a couple of objects on here that I won't necessarily use, but the rest, I mean those crystal balls. Anyway, these molds are really specifically designed for your plaster of Paris, your eco-pouring mediums, your polyurethane, to make castings with it. But of course, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because, you know, I do love me a silicone inlay. So I am going to be using the Let's Resin silicone rubber part AB to create some silicone inlays. Now, a couple of things with these molds, as beautiful and intricate and just everything as they are super flimsy and not necessarily holding up very well to the watery substance of the silicone. Also be careful with wording. Some of them have words on, and if you create inlays and then put them back to front, the wording can read backwards, upside down, all of that jazz. But again, that's something that my brain has to really work hard at to see what the result is going to be. Equally, the rest are fine, like the cards, the candles, the moons, the stars, the absolutely stunning fortune telling crystal balls. None of those have words on, so they're gonna look exactly the same no matter what. But like this hand, the fortune telling hand, it does have numbers and words, so depending on which way around you put your inlay, at this point I don't care. At this point I'm just gonna go for it and just hope that no one zooms in to actually read the wording, because I can't even tell you how my brain struggles with this. Like, I just can't get it. But anyway, the silicone rubber we are using is the Let's Resin silicone rubber, part A, part B, measurable by weight. I am a silicone rubber ambassador for Let's Resin, so your code will be down below for Let's Resin and your discount on your rubber if you fancy having a go yourself and making some molds. Now, again, this is measurable by weight, so I am not necessarily going to give you the exact weight that I used, because I don't fill up the whole mold. I just fill up the ones that I'm in love with first and then see how far the silicone gets me. So it really is up to you how much you measure and mix and weigh out. Equally, you can colour the silicone rubber from Let's Resin using mica powder. So I just obviously went with purple and black because Halloween vibes, pagan vibes, Wiccan, all of the witchy vibes, and I absolutely am here for it. I went mainly with purple with just a little hint of the silver shimmery black just to give it a bit of depth, and then you just mix this for 5 minutes. So silicone rubber, once you've mixed it, you need to make sure you mix it thoroughly. 5 minutes, scrape the edges, scrape the bottom, make sure that both part A and B, both of those components are fully and utterly mixed together for it to actually work. Again, you don't want to put too much mica in, but I just put enough to color it. Now, I make a mess here. This is where I'm saying it's so flimsy. I think moving forward, what I'm going to do is get myself a shallow tray, like maybe a 2-inch deep shallow tray, and fill it with dried rice. I feel like this is going to be the perfect support system for this kind of mold when I am using silicone rubber. Now, I do end up making a crazy mess, and that's okay. I just used tissue to support the mold. So I took it off to the side. Once I was done with all of my silicone, you can see I didn't fill up every cavity. I took it off to the side and I just kind of like shoved tissue underneath to support it where it needed supporting. And this is the next day. It could even be 8 hours later, actually. It's probably 8 hours later. Time to demold. And again, there is quite a lot of silicone on the surface of the mold. It peels off like a dream. And peeling them out is the most satisfying thing. I can't explain it. Like, when you've done this, you'll know it's just like, it's like Christmas. You know what you're going to get this time around, but you're just hoping that they come out as stunning as you picture them in your head. The hand, everything worked. The crystal ball. Listen, what am I going to do with this? I don't know. I don't have a mold big enough, deep enough, or anything for this inlay. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we don't think negatively, do we? I will work it out. I will get a mold to fit this silicone inlay and then we will do something wild and amazing. I think it would be incredible with like a shaker style, an actual shaker style crystal ball. You know, once you've done it, you kind of like put like a sleeve over the top with laminate and then pour in your oils and your glitters and your shimmer and then UV over the top. You know, that's what I'm imagining. Can I do that? I don't know. Never done it. So we'll soon see, I suppose. The rest came out great. I didn't have enough silicone rubber for everything. So you'll see earlier, I just showed you the book. It didn't quite fill up the cavity. That's okay. I wasn't really looking forward to using the book anyway, but I did what I could with what I had. I could have made more to make more, but I really didn't need to. I filled up the ones that made my heart happy and the ones I really wanted. Like this one here is gorgeous and all, but I didn't have enough to fill it. So we're missing some of the edge, and equally the writing's really, really clear. So you want to be careful how you put it in and whether it's back to front and upside down. What I might do with this one is just cut away the wording and just use the moon shape. I mean, possibilities. The cute little stars, again, everything is super adorable. And these, I mean, I'm guessing these are tarot cards. Oh, they came out a dream. Absolutely stunning. They're just stunning. The detail, the intricacy. Okay, that's enough chat. They're beautiful. I'm going to get all of them out. We'll look at them all together in one. And then we're going to actually create something with the inlays. This is not just about making inlays. This is also about creating things with them. Now, if you're wondering why I don't just fill the mold with polyurethane and just use those, you absolutely can. You can do this any way around that you want. Whatever works best for you. For me, when I make silicone inlays, I can use those over and 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 over again, as opposed to just filling the mold one time to make one thing. I just think the inlays give you so much more possibility. So these are the inlays that I'm going to make for this specific project. I'm going to be using the fortune telling hand. I don't know if it's going to be legible when we demold. Still haven't quite worked out my left brain to my right brain and what way around the wording is going to be. But the wording is so tiny that I don't think anyone's going to notice, and it'll just be a secret between me and you. And also I'm going to use the moon, and I'm going to use all of the stars. The stars are beautiful, and they would even work at Christmas. You know, they would just be beautiful for Christmas. Now this is a multi-layer, multi-technique kind of video, so if you want to pause, go grab a cup of tea, please do, because we've got a long journey ahead, but it's a fun one. I'm going to be using the Apex resin from Just For You Online. That is linked below again with your discount code. If you are new here, I am an affiliate and an ambassador for multiple companies. I don't earn money from all of those companies. Some companies I am an affiliate for and I do earn commission, but there are multiple links down below, discount codes for you guys. And again, I don't earn commission on a lot of those, but they do send me products to try out in my videos and all of those things. So head on down to my description box. Now, the Apex resin, I'm just mixing it for a solid 5 minutes. First step for me was to use these decorative garden stones around the edge lip of my tray. Now, these aren't, sorry, they're not decorative garden stones. They're decorative stones from a garden center. You would put these at the bottom of your vase. If you've got a gorgeous vase, you would decorate the bottom of the glass with it, or you would put it in like a candle votive and you'd put them all at the bottom of the glass jar, rest your candle on top of them. They are simply interior decorative stones. So they work perfectly in resin though, but they are reflective mirror glass, which I just think is going to work so well with this kind of aesthetic. Next up, we are embedding them down with some resin. If you wanted to put the stones directly into resin, of course you could do that. I'm just doing whatever works best for me. I think you'll find, if you've been with me a while, I tend to do what works best for me at the time. And I also do things I just never thought there was an easier way at the time. So quite often I'll get comments like, why didn't you just do it like this? You should have just done it like this. Or couldn't you just do it like this? Yes, and yes. It's just, It's just at the time I just didn't think of it. And shoulda, woulda, coulda kind of comments don't really help me because the project is done. Do you know what I mean, guys? So you have to do whatever's going to work best for you. And if I've done something and you think, do you know what, there's actually an easier way to do that. It's just that it didn't occur to me at the time, guys. It really didn't. But I do genuinely always welcome helpful hints and tips. It's just really hard when I read comments that are like, you should have done this. Or why didn't you do it like this? It's like, because I didn't. I don't know what else to say. They're the kind of comments that I just can't respond to because I don't know what to say. I guess I just didn't do it that way. But trust me, there are always easier ways to do things than what you see in my videos. Okay, back to the video. We have laid down the first layer of epoxy resin. Those reflective mirror stones are so heavy, they're not going to rise up and come out and over. So I've laid down my first layer of resin, into which I'm going to lay the silicone inlays that we have made. Now, I did make these silicone inlays about 24 to 48 hours before I used them in resin. I didn't even know this was a thing, guys, until like 3 weeks ago when I heard Wendy from Toonpish Crafts mention it on her channel. I was like, oh, really? Oh, I haven't been waiting. But yes, this is 24 to 48 hours later. I've laid down all of the inlays that I wanted to use. I was going to center the hand and then thought that was just a bit kind of like obvious to center it. So I put it off to the side, and this is 24 hours later. This always feels like Christmas. Like I just love it. I love peeling back silicone inlays. Just the image that is left behind is second to none, stunning, beautiful. You know, resin will pick up absolutely every single little detail. So it's always just beautiful to see. Once I've peeled those out, I have a little look. And at this point, I still can't work out which way around the wording's going to be. So, you know. But the fact that you're still here, I appreciate you for that. Next up, we are going to dust those cavities, those inlays, with some chameleon powder. Any chameleon powder will do. I'm using the Arcane from the Tiny Turner via Wendy at Toonpish Crafts. She's a stockist of these. It is simply stunning. But if you do not have this, if this is not in your budget, there is also the Plum from Let's Resin. So Let's Resin chameleon powders, sorry, they are equally as stunning. Like seriously deep. They have one that is called Plum. And I find that that is also a very, very apt colour for Halloween projects and all of those things. So definitely check out Let's Resin as well. This is the colour shift in this Arcane is a wow. It is a total wow. Again, these mica powders were sent to me by Wendy over at Toonpish Crafts for me to show you guys on my channel. I don't get paid. I don't earn commission from Wendy. We are friends. She just sends me things every month, and she sends me inlays as well to try out as well. So again, check out Wendy from toonpish.com if you want to get your hands on those. Now, next up, I am filling these cavities with black polyurethane resin. Now you can use epoxy resin just to backfill these. I'm not filling the whole of the back of the mould, just the cavities. I want these to stand out. And I've still got a couple more layers to do on this tray, so I don't want to fill the tray up at this point. I am using black polyurethane simply for speed. I could use black resin at this point. If you don't have black polyurethane, you could potentially use black UV resin, or you could use, you know, fast curing black epoxy resin. The one thing I didn't want to do at this point is wait like 24 hours. I've already waited 24 hours to be able to peel the inlays out. So anything that's going to speed up the process, use it, throw it in there, and it's really, really helpful. Do I make a mess here as well? Yes, I do. I do. I don't think the day's ever going to come. I just don't think it's ever going to come where I do things neatly, but that's all right. This is all clean upable and manageable, so we're going to manage it once done. The polyurethane itself, super speedy, mix it for 30 seconds. It cures within 20 minutes, really within 20 minutes. But here you see me just tidying up the edges of this star with a cotton bud. The star, I don't know, I just poured too much in and out it came. Now my plan here was to do a cling film technique. That was the plan. My plan was use some plastic wrap or polyurethane wrap to create that satin sheet technique. I thought it would be absolutely stunning behind this. However, once I've done all of the cleanup, the polyurethane is cured, I've cleaned it up with isopropyl alcohol and a cloth, there's no room. There is absolutely no room left in this mould to do a cling film technique. I've literally got like 2 mils, 3 mils left. So I changed my direction right at the very last minute and we're going with something completely different. This was nerve-wracking. Like, I didn't know if this was going to work because I've got literally no mold left to play with. I am at the end of the mold. I'm going to use some holographic foil inserts. Now, again, I just saw a vision in my head and I knew it would look pretty no matter what I did. These are stickers. They are actual stickers from Amazon, but the surface is not flat at this point. So I'm actually not going to stick them down because I don't want them to be crushed and weird looking. I'm going to pour a single layer of resin, which brings me up to the top of the mold, and I'm going to lay them down in the resin. Now, I could at this point, if I wanted to, if you wanted to, you could wait until this clear layer of resin fully cures and use them as stickers. Peel them off, stick them down onto the clear layer of resin. Either way works really, really well. I just decided to lay them into the resin because it's done then and I don't have to think about it tomorrow when the resin is cured. So here I am. I did not peel them as stickers. I've laid them straight down into this very, very, very thin layer of resin. My thought process was, we've got that mirror crystal gorgeousness on the outer lip of the tray. We've got the stunning multiple shimmery chameleon powder up against these beautiful holographic images that is going to give so much wow impact to the tray that, yeah, at this point I just decided to throw them all in because I just thought, what's the worst that could happen? It's extra pretty. Like that's the worst thing that could happen right now, is that it's extra in your face, you know. The only negative side here is that I'd run out of room. Like, this was later that evening, it was about 8 hours later. I've got nothing left. I've got no space whatsoever to put a back coat on this. It needs a back coat. It needs something that is going to make those holographic foils jump out at us. And obviously those inlays, they need to be seen. If I don't put a back coat on this right now, it's an okay tray, but nothing is going to really stand out. The chameleon powder needs a black background, so I've done that, and that's worked. We've put the polyurethane in each individual cavity at the beginning. But then the holographic foils, it needs a wow factor. Now, I have used masking tape. So this is just frog tape. That's expensive. You don't have to buy the expensive one. I've used frog tape to create me a wall on which I can then pour resin. This is just basically, it's going to deepen my mold for me. And at this point, I was just going to pour black. But I thought, we'll just add a little bit more of the arcane chameleon. We're not coating the whole of the back of the tray. You can see here, I'm not going crazy with it. I'm just putting a bit in to give me a little something on the back, but I'm not spending time making sure that every single millimeter is fully coated at this stage. I just didn't want it to necessarily be jet black. This is the last drop of my black polyurethane. Again, run out again. So I do have to buy more, But this is all I had left, so I was just keeping everything crossed. It would be enough. I literally poured in what I had, and then I grabbed the tray and I literally tilted it left, right, until I was happy that it had gone all the way to the edges, although I did miss a bit, which we didn't learn about until we peeled the tape off. And that was enough. That was just enough to give me that background. Now, of course, because I've created this fake wall, this false lip, it's going to give me a sharp lip. It will never just be flat and perfect when you do things like that. But I'm using my tool here, my deburring tool, to take off the edge. I'm not going to lie, it does make the bottom look super messy. It does. It's not nice. The only way around this now is to use a self-adhesive cork background just to hide all of the mess. Are you guys ready? I don't know if you're ready. I cannot tell you how obsessed I am with this. Like, it actually made me want to cry. Like, everything about this is everything and more what I wanted this to look like. It was my expectations multiplied by 10 with some lemon cheesecake thrown in and a cup of tea. Like, it was everything. Those mirror pieces around the edge, I wish I put more in. I wish I packed them in, actually. But they are reflective. They are reflecting light. The Arcane Chameleon powder is a wow. The colour shifting is intense. It goes from blue to purple, back to blue. And the foils just make this. The foils make this. It would have been amazing to have a super intricately detailed foil that just fits the whole tray. Of course, that would have been amazing. I don't have it. Everything about this tray is me. Everything. I'm obsessed, guys. This took, in total, approximately 4 days to make. To me, it was worth every little part. If you're making these kinds of things to sell, it might not be worth your time. But for me, taking those 3 to 4 days, I made the inlays, that was a whole day. Then we poured the first layer, that was another whole day. We took the inlays out, we poured the black polyurethane, that was only 30 minutes. But then we poured another layer of resin for the foil. That was another 8 to 10 hours. So it was a time-consuming project, but look at this. I am fully obsessed. Fully obsessed. This is absolutely my cup of tea. And this is one of the longest videos as well. Like, I don't usually do videos that run into the 22, 23 minute mark. So thank you so much if you're still here. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you are as obsessed with me. Let me know if you felt it when I turned the tray around to show you the reveal. If you got that wow moment, which is what I did. And I was so happy I went with some chameleon powder for the background. Because I feel like if it was just black, it would have still been oh wow, this is pretty. But it wouldn't have been that, ooh, in your soul, in your gut. That kind of, oh my goodness, yes, please. This is me. I want to make 50 more of these things. I mean, again, you could take this, you could run with it. Coasters, massive trays. Why was I going to say tea bags? I don't know. I'm craving a cup of tea. I was going to say bookmarks. Bookmarks. Anything, any mold you have, you could try this technique with it. So whilst I've used a really basic tray from Amazon, you're not limited to that only. You can use your imagination and go wild. Use all of your molds. But guys, thank you so much for watching, because I've loved this one. This is right up my street, and I just want to continue to do this kind of thing. It's very, very close in line with the chuck it all in technique. I mean, guys, throw in a couple of silver keys into this, a couple of little silver, even like cogs. Go a little bit steampunky with it, silver cogs. This is definitely leading to a chuck it all in technique, which I think would work superbly. I've been chatting way too long. We're nearly at the 25-minute mark. If you've watched all this way, thank you so much. Let me know in the comment section if you stay to the end. And if you've been in the live chat, I appreciate you guys so much, because you're kind of trapped. I do feel bad when you come into the live chat. You don't know how long the video is going to be. So thank you if you're still here. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment. And if you have not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please do it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.